Hey guys, this is Rick, aka Longhorn Arrow. I'm going to play World Boss today, fighting against Supergiant. I'm gonna see if I can possibly go 3 for 5 or even 4 or 5 today, but I'm not sure. So I'm gonna start with the teams that I'm confident of, which are gonna be my Ant-Man, Sharon Rogers, and Loki teams, and then we'll see if I can find a fourth team that I can win with. So let's start with uh, Team Pim, and I'll show you my stats on them uh, after I win. Hopefully, if I win, which I should. So I'm gonna pick physical strikers. Uh, just go with all of them, except Amadeus Cho, just because he's not very strong right now. And I always like to have at least one co-op skill cooldown time striker, and just for good measure, I put a mine resist in there. But I have found that the mine resist strikers really don't seem to help that much. But at least Ronan's pretty strong. He should be able to help. But I think Ant-Man's going to do all the work anyway, so it's probably not really going to matter. So here we go. All right, so strategy is pretty simple with Ant-Man. I have Smart Raccoon on him, so he's going to have a pretty fast cooldown. And that's another reason why I brought the cooldown strikers, is so whenever I'm unable to call Ant-Man's skill, I can call the full team, and it'll sort of enable me to keep hitting Supergiant pretty much without stop. So here goes. Switch to Ant-Man, hit the 5-star skill, go straight into 6-star skill, 5-star skill again. 6-star skill is not ready, so I'm gonna hit the co-op, 5-star. So I'm just gonna keep doing this over and over and over, and I'm really not even gonna try to protect myself from Supergiant because Ant-Man has such high dodge, and I figure the faster I can take out Supergiant, the less likely it'll be that I have to deal with her in the later rounds where we've got those lasers and everything else going on. So really, it's all about finishing it as fast as I can. All right, so can't really do much here. So I'm gonna switch right. There you go. So switch right at the instant that she's going to explode or whatever the heck that is. Switch back to Ant-Man. So really, it's not a whole lot of strategy to it, really, when you have Ant-Man Tier 2. Just keep pressing there's 5 and 6-star buttons. So it makes it a whole lot easier if your team is already powerful. Some guys are able to beat the world bosses without having tier 2s and without having their strikers all maxed out. There is a certain strategy which hopefully I'll be able to show you against. I switched there just because I noticed Ant-Man's HP was getting a little low. So give him a break. Let Giant Man do some of the work. I was hoping I could avoid the lasers, but couldn't avoid them completely. Anyway, some people are able to use strategy and beat the world bosses without having maxed characters. I just don't seem to be very good at that. But I think also, from what I've seen, even the people that are using specific strategies and doing it very well, when I look into their teams a little closer, or other stats that they've got, then there's always something that's makes their teams better than mine. It could be that they've got like a really awesome obelisk on their characters, or they have an amazing card set. Something gives them the edge, it seems, whereas I haven't been able to get my card set finished the way I'd like to have it finished anyway. And I cannot build a really high quality obelisk to save my life for whatever reason. So anyway, so that one was a quick, an easy one, and this will be my first time using Sharon Rogers, but hopefully it goes well. From what I've seen, everybody, people that have used them, they destroy her pretty quickly using Sharon Rogers. I'm gonna try. So the ones that have used her generally are using Star-Lord as the lead, and then Sharon Rogers, and I've seen them use Daisy, or sometimes maybe Rocket if they're using Star-Lord. But I want to save Star-Lord because I want to use him with Sister Grimm a little bit. So I'm hoping that Sharon Rogers doesn't need the 45% energy attack, so I'm going to use Captain Marvel instead. We'll see how it goes. So pair her up with Lash, yeah. So something that maybe not everyone is aware of is even though the Captain Marvel and Lash team is, or it's the bonus. It's a two character bonus. That bonus, the all attack of 5%, that applies to the entire team of 3. So the 5% attack and HP does apply to Sharon Rogers. So total, she gets 35% increase to her energy attack. Okay, and I'm gonna choose all energy attackers. Another Mind Resist. Actually, I'm going to drop out Black Bolt and put in Coulson again. Okay, here we go. Based on other people's strategies, again, it's similar to Ant-Man. Just hit Sharon Rogers' skills as soon as they're ready. I've got Power of Angry Hulk on her. So cooldown's not perfect, but she's got 3 skills that are very powerful, or 3-star, 5-star, and 6-star. So I don't think I'll really need low cooldown. If I have to, I'll switch to the other 2 to give her a chance to refresh. But hopefully with T2 Sharon Rogers, I can just destroy Supergiant quickly. I saw one of our Alliance members do it in 12 seconds, but I don't know if that's going to happen here. Here goes. There you go. That was actually a lot easier than I thought it would be. So great. I was able to save Star-Lord, so let's go for 3 for 5. So I'm going to use Lady Loki because the Star-Lord Sister Grimm team is the one I'm still not positive of. Um, who do I want to use? I think, again, I want to... Well, I was going to use an energy attack. Yes, I will. I'm going to use Black Bolt and Lady Loki. And then I need somebody to go with that, which will be Coulson, I think. There we go. Okay, so almost 35% energy attack here. Again, I'm saving Ronin so that I can use him possibly with another Universal in a bit. And I'm saving Star-Lord for later as well. So again, energy attack. Let's use Singularity, Captain Marvel, Destroyer, Ronin, and skill cooldown, Star-Lord. Here we go. So this won't be as fast. I'll have to use Loki's shield and his clones, obviously. The objective is to keep the shields up at all times, call the clones as often as possible, keep the clones closer to Supergiant than Loki is at all times, avoid the whenever the red indicators show up, get out of the way as fast as possible, let these Supergiant and Black Bolt's skills finish, and then go in for the attack. Use co-op whenever it's ready, especially when you're in trouble. Once you're in the lasers round, of course, you're just avoiding those. And another thing is that I want the strikers to come out as often as possible to help me out. So I'm really going to be trying to always attack in some way. So I'll be hitting the basic attack, the X button, when I'm not able to call skills, because every time I press that button, that gives me a chance of a striker coming out. So you'll hopefully see what I mean as I'm playing. Okay, so see how Singularity popped out there? I want that to happen as often as possible. So anytime there's not a skill that I can call, I'm going to be shooting. You see how often those strikers come out. So they're doing a lot of work for me, almost like the clones are doing, right? And the great thing about strikers is they can't get injured. We'll call a co-op real quick because I got caught there for a second. So if the strikers can't get injured, you want them to come out as often as possible. She has energy immunity, so really I'm just going to try to get as far away as possible and switch at the right moment, just like that. Call Captain America and Melinda May real quick just to give Floki time to recuperate. Switch back. Shields, clones. There I go, oops. That was almost a big mistake. All right, so a really bad habit that Lady Loki has gotten me into is that because I'm so confident in her, in the shield to protect her, him, I really don't even use any kind of strategy. You see that I'm just leaving myself vulnerable to get hit, and staying in the direct line of fire of Supergiant and Black Bolt, because I really don't care. I know I have 8 hits every time my shield is up, and I know I'm not going to get hit 8 times. And even if I do, Loki has pretty good dodge. So you can see I've been hit a few times and it really did nothing to my health. So there you go. Very reckless attack. And I kept hitting the X button, always calling a skill or shooting at Supergiant in some way to increase the odds that strikers would be called. So as you saw, strikers were coming out constantly, doing a lot of the damage, in addition to Loki and his clones. Okay, now, so that's 3 of 5. Now is where I get a little less confident. So now I'm going to use Sister Grimm, and a lot of folks use the A-Force team, but I just haven't had a whole lot of success with the A-Force team. Not to mention that against a male, you could use She-Hulk as the lead, but because she does 45% damage against male, but that's not going to help me against Supergiant. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and use Sister Grimm, or Star-Lord as the lead. And I want some additional attack, so 45% energy attack. And again, even though, so I'm gonna pick Spider-Gwen, but even though that's a 2-character bonus, that 5.2% all attack does apply to Sister Grimm, so she gets about a 50% all attack boost, which is pretty amazing. Then, of course, I'm going to add on top of that the energy attack strikers. And so I'll go through this after I'm done with the matches, but I try to always call the characters normal strikers, in addition to the providing the boost that I need them to. In this case, the energy attack 8%. I also want to be using the strikers that would normally be a striker for Sister Grimm in this case, right? So even though my Iron Man is stronger than the others, these guys have a higher chance of actually calling because they are Sister Grimm's normal attackers or strikers. Mind resist again, and another co-op. Okay, so hopefully I made the right choices this time. If I win today, it'll be the first time that I win using Sister Grimm. I've come extremely close a bunch of times, but I always fall just short. One of the things, so now I have to change my mindset. Those first 3 matches, through strategy to the win, it was all out DPS, damage per second, fast as I could. Even though Sister Grimm is already powerful, and I'm giving her a 50% attack boost plus the other 24%, so I mean 74 plus % energy attack. I'd be surprised if I didn't win easily. But anyway, Sister Grimm is very she has terrible defense. At least my build of Sister Grimm has terrible defense, so it doesn't take very many hits for her to get killed. So I have to stick to a strategy, avoid Black Bolt and Supergiant's attacks, avoid the lasers as much as possible. But other than that, the strategy is going to be the same as Loki, where I'm always attacking, always pressing the X button or the skills. So in this case, I'm using her 6-star and her 2 and 3-star, I believe it is. Not really going to use the 5-star much, but I'm going to be hitting the X button a lot to call the strikers. Here goes. I'll switch to Star-Lord and Spider-Gwen probably more frequently than I would have with any other one. Okay, so saw the indicators, time to get out of there. So even though Sister Grimm is powerful, and you would think that I should be sort of going balls out the way I did With the others, I can't. So this is not a DPS attack. This is not a DPS strategy. This is about being patient, not putting myself in jeopardy in the line of fire, but always keeping pressure on Supergiant. But it does help to have strong characters, have strong strikers. It's taken a lot of time to build my team up. It gets frustrating watching other people do so well with their team and wondering why I'm not doing well. But this game is a lot about patience and spending the time to build your team up, build your characters up, and prepare them for these matches. Run away. Void. So it's frustrating to play the matches where the world boss is off screen because then I don't know what's happening. Oh, come on. So I have to switch there to avoid getting killed. Hopefully, I have a chance to come back and finish off with Sister Grimm, but that was getting too close. You see, so even though I said I needed to stick to a strategy, you can tell I'm not a very patient person, so I'm really not following any kind of strategy, even though I was supposed to. I'm going to DPS right now. I should be more patient. I got 2.5 minutes, so I need to do more of this. Run around, avoid, switch. I think he just died. That's not good. All right, so this is where I always get in trouble. See, I didn't actually stick to the strategy I said I would, so did terribly. All right, so just let myself die here. I'm gonna take a break. Try again in a little bit.